We are here this morning with Rossy Lima with the Festival Internacional de Poesía Latinoamericana, which is a very unique festival coming up here at South Texas College. Welcome, Rossy.
Thank you, Mr. Buhidar.
I want you to tell us a little bit about the time and date, first of all, of this fabulous festival, and then we'll go from there.
Well, the festival is taking place at the Cooper Center September 2nd and 3rd from 9 to 6 p.m. and we are inviting all the students, faculty, and staff to join us at this event.
Wonderful. So it's a Friday and Saturday event. Absolutely. Anybody's invited to it. The community, young and old.
Everyone.
Okay.
We have activities for everyone, and we have an amazing lineup of poets.
Okay, you are the board president of this particular festival. You're also the founder of it. Tell us why this festival was important to put together.
Well, within our community, we have an influx of immigrants. We are in the border. So what we want to expose with this festival is the importance of unity. We have immigrants from Latin America, we have immigrants from other parts of the continent, from other parts of the world. And what we want to do is make them feel like we are all connected. And with this festival, we have 7 of the most accomplished poets of Latin America, and they will be sharing their experiences and letting us know that even though we come from different parts of the continent, we have one thing in common, and is brotherhood.
Yeah, excellent. Now we'll get to your guest artists in just a moment. Let me ask, for the person who perhaps might be seeing this and think, I've never been to a poetry festival, for sake. Why should they be interested in coming to this particular thing, apart from the fact that obviously the theme that you're talking about, but what strikes in perhaps someone's mind is it's a poetry festival, it's going to be poetry. Tell us why through poetry this would be important.
Well, we see poetry as something maybe academic, maybe inaccessible, but poetry is only the stories. And the poets that are participating, the honor poets and the general poets, they are here to tell us their story, their stories, their struggles, their longings, their passions, their dreams. The only difference is that they're telling their stories with a very specific scheme. That's the only difference. And when the thing that I love about poetry is that it tells the message briefly, and it looks for the words that are gonna make us feel what that individual felt at that given moment. So we're not inviting people to a poetry event. We are inviting people to listen to their stories and hopefully see that we're not different at all.
Yeah, because this is not just involving poetry, there's other aspects of fine arts as well. Tell us a little bit of what else is involved.
Yes, well, we have 5 artists that are going to be displaying different types of art. For example, we have a display of butterflies. Now this display is going to be at the Cooper Center also, and it's 300 and some butterflies made out of paper, origami. And these butterflies are going to have messages from the refugees at the center here in McAllen, the refugee center. And these 300 butterflies carry messages of hope, of future, of sadness and struggle. And they're going to be displayed all over the Cooper Center. And that's going to be a beautiful statement of unity again. And we also have the display of photographs by Oliver Contreras, and he's a reporter from the Washington Post, and he's going to be bringing his exhibit for the first time here in the US, and he took pictures of unaccompanied minors that crossed the border from Central America, crossed old Mexico, crossed the border, and then again unaccompanied got to Washington, and he took the pictures of these kids. We also have a panel where he's going to explain the importance of this exhibit. And we also have 3 other exhibits that are going to display, for example, the shoes that the refugees left in their travels to other states. We also have another exhibit where we're going to have clothes left by the refugees. So this is a very touching part of the festival. We want to allow people to experience what these immigrants and refugees are going through.
This is interesting because this festival is sort of timely in a way, because it's happening at a very interesting time in our nation. You know, just talking politically, you know, there's great debate about this, as you're referring to the refugees. And in this particular area, we know we've been really firsthand in terms of the refugee situation with one of the churches here locally. So this is interesting that this festival would occur at this particular time. It really will resonate with this particular part of the community, because this is something that we really feel in this area very, very, very much, I would say, firsthand. Tell us about the artists that are coming. Which is very exciting to us, you have the Poet Laureate of the United States coming. Explain or share with us a little bit about these artists.
Well, Juan Felipe Herrera is the first Mexican American to receive this award, the U.S. Poet Laureate, and I mean, this award has been given since 1986, and this is the first time that we have a Mexican American Poet Laureate of the U.S. That is in itself very significant. Now, we are having the Poet Laureate here not only to talk to us about the possibilities of our culture, our generations, to achieve great things, such as being the Poet Laureate, but we're also bringing him to give our community the best of the best, and that's what our community deserves. And we're also instituting the Juan Felipe Herrera Young Poets Award. And
how does that work?
Well, we had one of our directors, Silvia Mar. She organized with the different high schools all over the valley and Reynosa.
Wow.
And we had over 126 students who wanted to participate in the festival.
Fabulous.
So out of those 126, there were 100 texts selected to be included in an anthology that we published.
Oh, wow.
We were going to present that also. And out of those 100, it was very difficult, because the stories and the poems that the students sent reflect our reality and reflect the way that this generation is looking out at all the problems that we have here. And we selected 10, and they're going to be receiving an award from Juan Felipe's hands.
Wow, wow. This is exciting. These are high school students as well. Now, the poetry that they submitted, is it in English, in Spanish, in both?
In both.
In both, exactly.
There was no language requirement.
Okay.
We have Spanish, English, a little bit of Spanglish.
A little bit of Spanglish, I like that. Now, which brings up an interesting question. There is a segment of our area that perhaps might not be Spanish speaking, you know. Would they feel comfortable coming to this as well?
Definitely. This festival, as I mentioned, not only with the high school students, but with the general audience, was not with a specific language. We have general poets that are going to be reading in English and Spanish and Spanglish and Tex-Mex and anything they feel comfortable with, because we are not trying to establish a norm. We are just trying to give a forum, a stage to these poets to share their stories, as I mentioned. So we're gonna have a little bit of everything, and
sounds exciting.
I think that anyone would be able to relate to some of the poets.
Okay, this is September 2nd and 3rd at the Cooper Center here at South Texas College. And they can get more information by calling?
They can call any of our phone numbers, 956-570-1023. They can also, and we would really appreciate it if they like our page, FeIPoL 2016 on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. And yeah, we have information all around campus, and we're going to be distributing more.
Great. And we can also give you information here at our department, 872-2503, if you want to get some more information as well. You yourself are a poet, okay? Tell us a little bit about your background in terms of how you got into poetry as a means of expression, and perhaps what particular area that you really like to focus in, and what thematic ideas you have in your own poetry, if you would, please.
Well, for me, poetry basically saved my life.
Interesting.
I came to the U.S. when I was 13 years old, and from Mexico. So as I was looking for a place to belong and couldn't find one, I decided to take refuge in poetry. And since that moment on, I've been expressing myself, and I think that it has made me the person that I am today. For me, poetry is not only writing love poems. for me, poetry is taking action. And the first action that I'm taking is to put it in paper, and then I take it into the streets.
Interesting. And you need to share a little bit of how you were able to get the Poet Laureate down here, because this is really a big thing to have the Poet Laureate of the United States to come to our area. You want to share a little bit of how you managed to get him here?
Well, and this is something that
which I think is a great story, actually.
This is something that I would really recommend everyone to do it. Just be persistent.
Yeah.
I contacted the Poet Laureate, and well, of course, he's a very busy person. So at the beginning, he didn't respond, and I was worried, but I kept insisting, and it took several messages, but he finally decided to respond, and not only respond, but it showed his generosity, and it changed my life, because from that moment on, I could provide my community not only some of the best poets that we have, but also a legacy. I mean, we have the Poet Laureate, and this goes to tell us that we can achieve anything that we set our minds to, and I
love that. And I think the word you use is an important thing also, the idea of persistence, because it kind of, if you think about it, persistence is sort of one of the themes of your festival, of what you're representing in terms of the struggles of refugees. What they actually are persistent in trying to find a better life for themselves. And so that, I think, is all kind of resonates in the same way. Again, this is September 2nd and 3rd. It's going to be here at South Texas College at the Cooper Center. And the times again are from 9 in the morning?
From 9 to 6.
6 both days. And this is for everyone. This is for young people, for adults, older people. This is for the community in general. And there's going to be not only wonderful poetry readings and interviews with some of the poets themselves, and there's going to be some visual arts as well, as you indicated. The mariposas are going to be hanging. How about that? And I think there's some music also involved in one of the presentations, which I think will be very exciting. And there might be some light food, perhaps.
Yes, we're going to have some food trucks outside for people to don't worry about having to get out and then return. We want you to stay at the festival, so we're making sure.
I think you just hooked everybody when you said food. This is a purpose to show up. Again, so this is September 2nd and September 3rd here at South Texas College at the Cooper Center. For more information, they can give us a number one more time, Rossy.
956-570-1023.
And your Facebook page?
FeIPoL 2016.
Excellent. And you can also call us here, of course, at the Fine and Performing Arts, and that is at 956-872-2503. And you can also go to our Facebook, which is Fine and Performing Arts STC, and they link us also to our Instagram and Twitter pages. And so we're happy to continue to promote this. This is an important event, and this is the first event of this kind for our area, which is going to be
Texas.
Which is fantastic. And so once this is done here, some of this is going to travel with this.
The Oliver Contreras exhibit is going to travel all the way to the United Nations in Washington. So
will he be here as well?
Yes, he is going to be here, and we're going to have a panel, and he's going to explain the importance of his organization and his exhibit.
Excellent. Thank you so much, Rossy, for being with us today. Again, for more information, be sure and contact us.